When news of a survey asking students who they would rape surfaced at UVM Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity back in December, the campus erupted.
It's something that's not acceptable in society at all.
UVM put the frat on probation, and within days, national leadership kicked the kids out of the fraternity house and closed the chapter.
I think that if one person is to do something, it shouldn't be everyone who gets in trouble.
The university promised to investigate and said it could take a couple of days. It took 10 months. Thursday, the university cleared the frat of any wrongdoing connected to the controversial questionnaire. It found one student responsible, but wouldn't say who it was.
We go to an awesome school with really great students, and the fact that we have a student that would put something out like that really just sheds a really poor light on UVM as a whole.
UVM says it's taking appropriate action, but won't say what that means for the student involved.
I'd really like to know what they actually did for him, what punishment he gave. I don't know if I'd feel safe or comfortable knowing that the university kept him at our school.
Things have changed rather dramatically here at 371 Main Street since news of the survey first broke. Today, the one-time fraternity house has been transformed into a dorm for Champlain College students. Does it concern you that an incident that happened in December has taken this long to get to the bottom of?
Well, as a general matter, yes, but I also understand the intricacies and all the interests that have to be protected here.
UVM's new president, Thomas Sullivan, is challenging folks who may think the offensive language was simply free speech.
We have to find the right context to make sure that we're both advancing the First Amendment free speech and also being respectful and civil in our discourse and our conduct with each other.
Anything less, say students on campus, is simply not acceptable.
People are going to react. They're not going to be able to get away with it, and there are going to be a lot of groups and a lot of organizations on campus that are not happy, and they're going to let everyone know.
Channel 3 has reached out to former fraternity brothers with Sigma Phi Epsilon for comment, but hasn't heard back. While the investigation into the survey is complete, the fraternity isn't in the clear. University officials say their initial investigation raised red flags about a separate incident, and that a new investigation is actually underway. UVM is not sharing details, but say that work should be done this semester. So some additional questions on campus tonight. Darren? In Burlington City Hall Park Thursday night.
To be faced by force and guns and tear gas in City Hall Park, Burlington, for a peaceful assembly is, if people seem outraged, it's because it's outrageous.
Let her go! Let her go! The chanting, screaming, and swearing came just hours after a military veteran who is part of the demonstration was shot inside a friend's tent. He died at the hospital.
There are a lot of tensions and emotions running high because we lost a very valued member, and we're all very vulnerable today because of that.
Police suspect the gunshot was self-inflicted, but closed off access to the area to investigate.
We are actively engaged in a complicated criminal investigation, and that's first and foremost in our mind right now.
As Police Chief Mike Sherling and Mayor Bob Kiss updated protesters inside City Hall, some involved in Occupy Vermont stormed the meeting, say police were rifling through the tents outside. That's when most of the crowd stormed out. Haley Mason was arrested in the commotion and confusion that ensued.
I was walking through, didn't cross the police line. I certainly never crossed any of the tape. And two officers, the first thing they said was that I was under arrest. And then one of them asked me if I wanted to be tased.
Mayor Kiss tried to calm the crowd and had police release Mason, later admitting he didn't know the details behind her arrest. To release someone from being arrested when you don't know why they were arrested, is that the right move?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Is it standard operating procedure for the mayor to have somebody released from his custody?
I don't know that that's what happened. That wouldn't be normal. But we're certainly not operating in normal circumstances right now.
Mayor Kiss said little about the camp's future or the contentious exchanges, but did strike back when asked how he thought Thursday evening unfolded. This video is going to be on every newscast tonight. What are people at home supposed to make out of that?
I'm not going to sensationalize your question. We're working our way through this, and let me tell you that I think by working together, we were able to tonight allow the police to continue their investigation and to have the discussion pick up again tomorrow.
Ready?
Yes.
Table games in UVM's Davis Center can get pretty fierce when Sterling Peebles steps up to play. Your mom tells me you're a pool shark.
Oh, I am. I haven't met Paul Newman yet here.
The 29-year-old is getting comfortable on the college campus for the first time.
I want people to know that I'm a person. It's me for who I am and not for what I have.
She has Down syndrome and is one of 5 students with intellectual disabilities who are enrolled in the university's new Think College program. What do you think the scariest part of this is?
I'm actually here.
Oh wait, now UVM's popping up.
Sterling is taking 18 college credits at UVM over the next 2 years as part of the non-degree certificate program.
That's the way it fit because they choose the classes that match my interests, my dreams, and my hopes for the future.
Tuesday, February 7th in the Davis Center.
Hopes that for Sterling include writing and working with media, which made freshman English a must on her schedule.
English 1, even though it has a 1 on it, is anything but a simple, beginning, easy class.
In Think College, the coursework is not modified, and students study side by side with their non-disabled peers and professors.
They're fun, they're fresh, and they're different.
Jenny Grosvenor was Sterling's professor last semester.
Her wheels were always going. She was that kind of student.
She was also the type to do all the work.
She rose to the expectations of that class. We read sophisticated essays. We read Orwell and Greeley.
I heard you did 47 blogs last semester.
Yes, I did. But I like to push the limits when I have to.
Pushing those limits earned Sterling high marks. And now I heard you got a B+ in your writing class last semester.
I'm guilty on all charges.
It's a grade that's foreign to a fair number of traditional college students, and one that raises eyebrows of skeptics. Folks at home are going to watch this story, and many will say there is no way someone with Down syndrome can get a B+ in a University of Vermont English class. You say?
I say yes, absolutely, because I've lived through it, but Sterling worked very hard. She had more drafts than any of the other students. You know, I laid it out right in the beginning. She had more drafts. She did more research. She worked harder to get there. She worked harder to keep herself attentive.
It's hard work with a clear end goal. Think College aims to have its graduates gain employment for 10 or more hours a week at minimum wage or higher in a career they enjoy.
I run my own production company. I work in TV or something in the film business.
You might go after my job then.
No, it's safe.
And while Sterling may not be gunning for my job, she may be changing minds.
Someone like Sterling in the classroom, not only in the classroom, but in our lives, can only add richness because they have a wisdom that we don't have.
I just go through life with a positive energy, and I love inspiration and motivation get behind it.
Motivation that Sterling says could mean UVM may not have seen the last of her once Think College wraps up.
I might come back to UVM, get my bachelor's degree in fine arts, and hopefully my master's of fine arts someday.
2.
Someone like Sterling has a lot to give.
It's a big goal for a special student who wants others to know it's okay to follow their dreams.
Be who you are, and don't be shy, and just live life to its fullest.
For Sterling Peebles, it means living life at UVM.